Hello, hello, hello. Yay, yay, yay. Super excited here for episode number
41.
41.
41. 41.
41 for the Spicy Season Sisters. Wow. What a blessing. So,
Yes. Been nice.
yes. My name is Renette, aka the Next Level Chick.
I'm Latoya, your CEO partner.
I'm simply Tammy, your inspirational coach.
I am Coach Gail Benson, certified master life coach.
All right, all right. And so tonight we want to welcome you. We want to thank you for coming, for participating. As you all are watching us, go ahead and share this out. Sharing is caring. And we need as many women as possible to see this because you know what? Every week we are getting emails, we are getting phone calls, we are getting texts about the difference that this podcast is making. So, as many women as we can get this out to, we want to make that happen. Yes. So, y'all want to know what we're talking about tonight? Y'all probably already got a little sneak peek, but let's dive in here. So, we're going to be talking about overcoming fear of visibility, being bold online and offline at this big, spicy age of 40 plus. Woo woo!
All right. Okay.
So, with that being said, at this stage in your life, you have earned your wisdom, your voice, and your space. But fear of visibility can still keep you small. We don't want to stay small. We're trying to be big. We're going big. Okay, y'all hear what we're saying? Whether it's posting online, whether it's speaking up at work, or walking boldly into a room, many women over 40 struggle with shrinking when they should be shining. It's your time to shine, okay? So we cannot be shrinking. This talk is going to empower women to step out of the shadows of silence, self doubt, and own their greatness without apology. It is your time. It is a spicy season, and it's time for you to show up and show out. And if y'all really want to know what a spicy season woman is, we're going to talk about it really, really quickly. So, the spicy season represents middle-aged women 40 plus walking in their season of greatness, which symbolizes embracing a phase of life filled with confidence, empowerment, and unapologetic authenticity. It's about stepping into that personal power, rediscovering your passions, and enjoying life on your own terms. Y'all hear what we said? On your own terms. Like it's time out for playing small. I don't care. We don't care what nobody think. We know that it's your time, it's your turn, and we feel the same way. So we ready to do stuff and be bold and step out and show up. And that's what you should be doing too. So with that being said, let's name those fears because as we become a little spicy, a little seasoned, people try to make us feel like we old, like we don't matter, that kind of stuff. So let's talk about it and let's name some of the fears. What are some of the fears that y'all feel people have at the age of 40 plus?
I would say being judged.
That's the number one fear that people have. Being
That's
judged,
as well.
worrying about what other people think. And
Right.
we cannot sit in that space and place. A lot of times when people are judging, they're really judging themselves because they are not doing something. Then they're looking at you and then trying to say, "Oh, she doing too much. Oh, child, she too old for that. Oh, that's so silly." But they're really wishing that they could do what you're doing. So yeah, that is a big fear of women 40 plus, worrying about judgment. So as we talk about that, how do you move past it?
First, you have to recognize it. I
Well,
mean,
I guess you can't. If you can't recognize it and face and embrace what's going on,
right,
you can't
right.
really move past it. So yeah, you must recognize that you are having this issue. And so if it is something that you're worried about them judging you, what is it that you have going on inside? I know we always talk about people pleasing. Are you trying to please them? Are you worried about them like saying something about you because you think it's not pleasing to them? And maybe it's a family member, maybe it's an older sister, maybe it's your friend circle that you've been around, and now they think, "Ooh, You just doing too much. Ooh, girl, I'm clothes too tight. Girl, who do you think you are? That kind of stuff. So people do go through that. That fear of being judged and worried about other people's opinion. And that's real. A lot of people may try to discount it, but yes, Tammy, that is so real.
Yeah, but that starts at the root, at the foundation when you're small and you're listening to your family members or whoever saying things to you. And that just builds in your inner core. And
Sometimes it starts early, but then it could be later too.
it can, it can. But sometimes, and I've seen it, the stuff starts at the core. And you have parents that don't have confidence, or you're around people who don't have confidence. How can you learn to have confidence?
This is true. This is true. And then you might have been in a relationship that tore down the confidence. Maybe you were once
Self-esteem. Yeah.
that person that had all the confidence and you got around the wrong circle, the wrong marriage, the wrong relationship, or whatever the case may be. And even sometimes I've seen people on a job where they have maybe they have all the skills, they've been there, and this is when I've really seen people feel fear and their confidence was torn down. You know how they use people at a job to train everybody else, then when it's time for a promotion, they don't give it to the person that's done all the work.
Right.
I've
Right.
seen somebody go all the way down, like to the ground, where they, started drinking and they really took that in personally and
Mm.
internally. And
Hmm.
people don't understand that that's real. And so knowing that is real, we have to, like you said, we have to recognize. We have to call it out. So that's what we're doing. We're naming the fear. We're calling it out. So as y'all have these fears tonight, we're gonna call out some more. But call them out. Y'all put it in the comments because we gotta call these fears out. And as you call them out, some people gonna be like, "Oh my God, I didn't even." You know what? Oh my God, that's me. Because I mean, we could sit up here and we if we want to and play this game, but I promise you, there has never been that I know, unless it's Jesus Christ Himself or God, and well, I would say God because I'm sure Jesus had some things and that He, as He was moving forward and doing things, that He probably had some thoughts and fears. Every person in this world has had a fear, and that's the bottom line. And fear is a part of life, and so to just even step out and name it, you
Right.
gotta name it. And we're not trying to claim like, oh my God, I'm so, but no, we do have to name it. Because if we don't
Yeah.
really face it and embrace it, we can't move past it. So
True.
that was a great one. What's another fear that we need to call out that people 40 plus struggle with?
Yeah.
What about failure?
Yeah, that too.
Fear,
Yeah.
fear
That
of
that.
failure,
Yeah.
fear of failure, lack of understanding. You know, there's a misunderstanding or concept that people think in order to show up, they need to have so many different things. They need to have all these tools and all this technical equipment and all of these things that they think make a great presentation when they go online. Even just with social media alone, there are people that are deathly afraid of being in front of the camera, even though they know God has equipped them with the message and with the story, to tell. And it's getting past the embarrassment, uh, having the confidence to get on there and tell your story.
Right.
Um, not knowing how you're going to be received, not knowing if you have everything you need, and the fear of rejection, the fear of people having negative comments. The thing I had to ask myself when I started podcasting 3 years ago was, how bad do you want it?
Mm,
Hmm.
that's
How
good.
bad do you want it? Because this thing has been sitting in me for years, for almost a lifetime, since I was a child. I didn't know how my message was going to come out, um, but it was welled up so much in me, it was overwhelming to where I had no choice but to do it. And I leaned into that because I knew only thing was standing in between me and helping somebody else was the decision to do it.
Mm,
Right.
And the first thing I did was a lady that was mentoring me at the time. She went live on Instagram and she brought me in on her live. And without me really knowing, she put me in the hot seat. And she was like, so many people can learn from your story, can tell your story. Now, although telling my story, it was my first time telling it out loud to other people. And I broke down and cried in the live. But when I
Wow.
tell you my DMs was on fire for
Mhm.
days and days and days. And I booked a lot of clients after that too. And what I
Okay.
thought was going to break me, what I thought was an embarrassing moment, was actually it catapulted me to a different level. It showed the truth in my transparency and the power in my story. And people
Mm.
were able to relate to that. And more people were, I didn't get not one negative comment. And if I did, I wouldn't have cared because it was so many women who got help that night. It was
Mm.
so many women that saw
Absolutely.
themselves in me that night. And I just went from there. One decision will change everything.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. You
Good.
said
Nice.
transparency. That is something that people are afraid of as well, transparency. And I
Mhm.
mean, if we many people rather perform and rather look like than be like. And I mean, performing, you only doing that for other people because when you get in the house, you know you're gonna be broke down, tore down, wore down, a public failure, but a private mess. It's not
Mhm.
cute. So we gotta call out these things. And if
Mhm.
you can't be
Mhm.
transparent and get real with, especially if you don't get real with anyone else, you must get real with yourself because a
Right.
lot of people are looking at you and you're portraying something that's really not, and that's not helping anybody that's trying to follow you. And they love what you're doing, and they're looking. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and she was talking about how well put together this lady was, and she came to our house to do something, and she was like, "Girl, I had a whole nother thought pattern." But you don't never
Wow.
know what's going on in people's life. She said,
Right.
"I walked in the house, I was like flustered and bored, and like you couldn't even stop without tripping." And so we don't know what people have going on. But if not that you gotta go tell people, oh, my house is disastrous, but we're
Right.
speaking of being transparent. And
Uh,
like Bill said when she told her story, and so many people can relate to your story. You may think you're the only one, but baby, it's other people. And your story is for your glory, but not just your glory, but it's to help other people get the glory and understand that that story can be related to lots of other people. And I know we get stuck in what had happened in the house, but if we don't call out these fears, we don't keep
Mhm.
stuck, fail, and stagnant in those places. So I love that. And guess what? If you ain't failed, baby, you ain't dead.
that's right.
That's a part of life. And so
Yeah.
you're supposed to be learning from those failures. So if you haven't had the opportunity to go through that, what have you done? To
Right.
me.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's just a
Right.
part of life. And we have to face it, embrace it. I'm sure each and every one of us can tell a story. Oh, we failed, but we can talk about how we got back up. And you
Yeah.
never really have really failed
Yeah.
unless you just stay down and don't do nothing. As long as
Right.
you getting
Mhm.
back up and you moving forward, it's never the end of your story unless you just quit.
Right. 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 But
So
help it.
yeah,
Understanding that if you don't like the way you felt when you failed, and you do something different, so the next time you won't fail. You push through a little harder.
Mhm.
You fight up. I think that makes sense. Um,
it makes a
I don't.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot, and then on top of that, the thing about it, if you fell down that one time and you get back up in the fight up, you're not starting from scratch. You got you some lessons that you've learned.
Right.
And you
Right.
like a little map. Okay, well
Right.
that didn't work, so let's scratch this and change that. But this did work, so
Right.
and such and such know how to do that. So maybe I can contact the graphic designer or the web. Maybe you sat forever trying to do a website and you got to do whatever and it just crashed and whatever the heck happened, you have some experience. Now you're
Right.
not the novice. You got some whatever. And a
Right.
part of the failure too is to get the help. Don't sit down and feel like woe is
Right.
me and pity parties because a pity party. I mean, I believe that you do need to have your cry and your pity party. I have a 72-hour rule, and then my party is done. After that, I got to move forward. I'm not gonna sit in nothing for 10 years and keep crying and whining about it, complaining about it. Complaining ain't never solved no problem. When you
That's
got
right.
a problem, you go people may see it as a complaint, but it is something that has happened that you need to get straightened out.
Yeah.
So not that it's a complaint, but it's something that you feel
Right.
some kind of way and you need to get that straightened out. So that's
Right.
what that is.
Right.
So I love these fears that we're calling out. The other one that I think is big too is feeling like you're not enough.
Hmm.
So many people that have been in that space to feel like it's not enough. I know when Latoya, we did that tour. Oh, that was, I'll never forget the tears and the way women cried. And then when we did the butterfly release,
Oh
people
wow.
need to understand that they are enough. That
Right.
butterfly release helped people to just release all these things. And it was just a beautiful thing because there's so many people that look so good. And you be looking at them like, you
Yeah.
know, people look at us and be like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm.
So we never know.
Right.
So I love that we're naming these fears, and I think that it's going to help. And if you're sitting in the audience and you hear something is resonating with us, chime in the comments, please. We want to hear from you.
Renee, I want to touch on two things.
Okay,
The first thing you talked about the tour. So for those of you that aren't aware, we did a multi-city tour, um, speaking on what was our topic, Renee?
not
I
enough.
drew a blank. Yeah, there were not enough. And one of the commonalities is that some of the things that the women were sharing across these multiple cities was that they felt like they were not enough. So sometimes we think that we are alone until you hear somebody else's story. So that's one of the things I say all the time. Your story isn't necessarily for yourself, for
Right.
you, it's for other people.
Right.
And, you know, one of the things that I've shared on the podcast before is that somebody else's story saved me, right? So it would be selfish of me to keep my story in, right? So just hearing that commonality of, you know,
Right.
about women where I thought I was the only one, or I
Right.
thought this, or I thought that, and just hearing how they were able to heal and connect with the other women because, you know, you can call it what you want, whether it's trauma bonding or whatever, but knowing that I am not alone and I am enough.
Wow.
Absolutely.
The
That's
second
nice.
thing I want to touch base on is our subtitle, Be Bold Online and Offline. And I used to struggle with this years ago, especially when I was still in corporate, you know, as I was building my business too. And for those that truly know that I'm the same online as I am offline. And I used to have a fear that clients would not, you know, want to work with me. Um, because of who I am as Latoya. But at the end of the day, I'm Latoya all day long, online and offline. So currently, you know, my page, my social media pages are public on purpose because at the end of the day, if you get to know me from a business perspective and you're offended or don't like me personally, then I don't think I really want to work with you anyway, right? So I'm always upfront with my clients. Like I said, my pages are. I mean, I was just say I'm not a crazy person. A little bit. I think we all got a little crazy in us. But I used to have that fear that clients would not want to work. You say, Gail, had that fear that clients may not necessarily want to work with me. But at the end of the day, I was like, well, if they don't like who I am as a person, then I don't know if I want to work with them. So
Absolutely. And if they don't want to work with you, baby, they losing out, bottom line.
yes, they are.
That's their issue.
Absolutely.
You don't let them keep that issue because, baby, working
Yes.
with you is always a flex. Okay? And the fact that you brought up that I'm enough tour as well, I want to say this. That was one of the hardest like events and tours because as we're stepping out to push other people to their enough, when I tell you every stop, it was a challenge and
Yes.
we felt like we
We
weren't
weren't
enough.
enough.
It was a mess. Everything was a mess.
Wow.
Yes.
And
Wow.
I mean, after the first one, I wanted to quit. After every one, it was just like, what the hell? Because it was hell.
Wow.
But
Wow.
we stood the test and we pushed, and it was so great because the ladies followed us from the first one to a couple of them, and it was really that gave us the push to feel like we were enough, even though it was falling apart. right in front of our eyes, especially that doggone Atlanta tour
Oh my gosh, yes.
when the building fell through. That
Whoa.
was
And we
so.
had people traveling into town to attend the event, and we don't have nowhere for them to go to because the building fell through. But
Wow. Wow.
it was
It was
the
a
Lord
lot.
would, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And understand this: the closer you get to the goal, the dream, or whatever it is you're trying to get to, things will get harder. That's when they get harder. God has to test you sometimes, and He doesn't stop the devil from testing you sometimes. If we look at the story of Job and what happened, he wanted him to curse God, but he never did. And so when we are in this process where we're going through the story, you got to get the story in order to get to the glory. And so many people think they just supposed to get to the glory and you're going to skip the story. Wrong answer. It doesn't happen. If we think about the Bible, let me ask y'all this question
What's that?
so, to help people. Do y'all know anybody in the Bible that just skated through and everything was great? Can you name anyone?
Nope.
Including Jesus himself,
No, he dealt with some stuff, but no.
more than anybody else, because he was
Yeah.
crucified.
Right.
So, for people to think that they're not going to go through something and not going to have any fear, that's just not realistic. That's play. That's a
Hmm.
fallacy.
Hmm.
So, we have to understand that as we are in this big, spicy age and we move towards our truth and getting visible, hiding does not keep you safe, it
Right.
keeps you stuck.
Hmm.
And so, what we need to do is learn how to get in alignment for our God given assignment. He has all given us an assignment, He's given us purpose, He's
Hmm.
given us specifics that we're supposed to do. So, if we're not doing what He's called us to do, we're not living the life that we're supposed to be living. So, even though we may not want to be visible because people are quick, I don't want to be doing, they don't want to be seen, they don't want to do that, but when you're visible, whether it's online or offline, like Latoya just talked about, that's giving you opportunities.
Right.
That's giving you respect. That's putting you in alignment for the assignment. And that's
Hmm.
giving you power to really step into position where you're supposed to be. So I'm not understanding, what do y'all think? I mean, we just talked about it. What do y'all think about that visibility? Do y'all think it really attracts the opportunity online and offline? Because we walk into many rooms and you're making yourself visible. How many opportunities have we gotten on Spicy Season Sisters? Because we chose to be visible, because
Mm-hmm.
we walk into a room. And usually when we go into one event or one thing or whatever, what happens?
Hmm.
We get
Yeah.
opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's true.
We get
Yeah.
opportunities.
It's true.
And we said at the beginning of the podcast, I want it. It hasn't been any week since we've started this that you've not gotten a call, girl, or you see somebody to be like, girl, oh my God, y'all just doing such a, oh, I love it. Has
Right.
it been a week that you haven't gotten any like feedback like that?
It hasn't. But Burnett, let me take you back a minute. I remember I was in a tough situation at one time, and your cousin, Sonia, said, Tim, I want you to join me on uh a live. I said, okay. That live had to do with something you were doing. And she already knew because she knows me. She's known me 50 some years. All of the things that I wanted to accomplish and do. And it took me that one time for things to click over. And you know what I'm speaking about. And from that day forth, I started making changes, making a difference in my own life. So much so that I changed my whole life. So it can be done. It has to be done patiently and in an orderly way though. Okay. And I forgot what it was you were doing. You were doing something with next level chicks.
It was the table of greatness. It's the
Table,
weekend
that's it.
now, but it's
That's
the
it.
table of
And so
greatness.
that made the total difference in me being where I am right now. So people have to know that they can do it. And sometimes you might hear that one word or just an hour, and that just gets you motivated. So in my case, that's what happened.
And I love that you brought that up because a lot of people might be watching this saying, oh, they sitting on a podcast, they doing that. It's not just about sitting on a podcast. Like Tammy just said, she came on live to an event. You might not be the speaker or the person that's there, but you can step into any room because proximity is very important and it makes a difference whether it is we're here or online or we're in a room. We're in proximity with those people that could help us get these extra opportunities that can give us the opportunities. You might say one thing and they be like, you know what? I like that what she just said. Oh my goodness. I need to know her. Who is that person? Or they might even come up and ask you who you are, what you do, and you get opportunities like that. You just never know how you're going to get the opportunities. I mean, I was an educator. I didn't understand that God was calling me to speak and take these type of opportunities. I'm just teaching. That wasn't even something I thought I wanted to do, but I guess it's what God called me to do. So at the school, the preschool, when we became the Magic preschool of the year, Orlando Magic preschool of the year, and we had to go on to the game, and I was asked to speak on the floor. I got an opportunity to speak from there, and from that opportunity, I got 3 opportunities when I spoke at that one thing at the Orlando Magic game. So just me showing up, being visible, just you showing up, being visible, it attracts opportunities. And then a lot of times people don't know what y'all do, what you got going on. And until you get there and then you start networking and talking to people, they be like, oh, well, you know what? I need a web designer. I need a computer person. You know, I need this person that does inspirational coaching. So if you don't put yourself out there, how people supposed to know about you? So this is the truth about visibility. You got to be visible, not just online, but in person as well. And nobody said you had to do online every day. Online may not be your thing. But I'm going to tell you one thing about online. I'm sure we all can tell you it's free.
Yes.
It's free.
Free advertisement.
What they say, Renette, if it's free, it's for me.
Listen, I'm telling y'all, when I left education and I opened my school, when I tell you who was online every single day, because I used to be on, first of all, I used to be on Facebook with foolishness, talking about people being real ghetto, just doing the silliest things. And then when I went to one thing that changed everything, a women's business conference, I learned that Facebook could be for business. I ain't never looked at nothing for business before I went to that conference. After I went to the conference, my page got cleaned up. Okay. And I started doing something different. And as we opened that school every day, I was posting it's coming, it's here. I was doing all kinds of things and dancing and posting our opening, our grand opening. And that grand opening was full. We only signed 12 kids that day. But and it was October in the middle of a school year because we started in August. But by March the next year, we were full because even though we opened the school every day, social media. And that's where most of our kids came from. And then as we started getting the people in, they started spreading the word of mouth. So that's another form of visibility. When you show up and you open your mouth, people can have the word of mouth to talk about, oh, she is awesome at what she does, how she does it. A lot of times we feel like, and I know y'all here too. So y'all been invited to something, or maybe it's an event, you looked at it and you saw it and you be like, I ain't even in the mood. I don't feel like going. How many times have you felt like going to something? You complained about it, didn't want to be there, probably was cussing on the way. Nobody better not say it. And then you come out talking, girl, oh my God. And you met the best contacts, had the best time. Yep. That's what happened. We've all been there. So visibility is truth and visibility. Visibility is it, okay?
But you know what, Renette? For that woman who still we can't convinced to step out there, uh, whatever it is that you want to do, still do it. Do it silently and behind the camera. You still can make things happen. I'll just use this. Some of the clothes we wear, we don't even know who the designer is. We don't even know what they look like, but we're still putting on their creations. So
That is
it could still happen for you, for that woman who just really just can't step out there. Another thing is, if you can't step out there, you know somebody who can for you to get your product out and to get you motivated and moving with what it is you want to do. I suggest you do that too.
and the fact that you mentioned that, Tammy, if people would look on social media, how many faceless products and different things, some people have made many, not even just some people, many people have made things that have blown up and it's been faceless. They talk about that all the time on
Right.
TikTok, how you can do
Right.
this faceless and what you can do. So you don't have to do, that's what everybody has to understand. When you look at TikTok or Facebook or any of these social media platforms, everybody got a different way to do it. But you have to decide what's your way. So as Tammy said, if you're not that person that want to be in front of the camera, okay, you can maybe get somebody that can do that for you, or you may have like some faceless posts or whatever. There's so many people that work behind the camera, so many people, not just clothes like Tammy said, but so many other things where we've never seen the people.
Mm-hmm.
They are making millions of dollars
Yes.
because they decided to get visible. And visible is not just about, oh, you got to be seen up front in the camera. It's a lot of people that's working behind the scenes doing the back work. They're visible, helping the people that's up front. But guess
Mm-hmm.
what? They're still making money. They're still
Mm-hmm.
doing that thing. They
Well,
still
that's
living
true.
that dream.
It's true.
Because some
It's
people
true.
supposed to be up front. Some people supposed to be in the back. Some people supposed to be maybe be doing a little bit of both. So we have to just get in the space and place to understand where our place is. And that's why it's very important to be in alignment with your God given assignment, to ask him for that direction, to
Right.
show him, to show you where your heart belongs and where you're supposed to go. I
Mhm.
never, ever, ever imagine myself with this right here to even be anybody's speaker or whatever. I never thought about that. I mean, when I was younger, of course, I wanted to be an actress, and I just knew that I was going to be in front of a camera. But that dream was killed early in my life, so I just kind of moved it out. I always kind of wanted to do it, but once it was killed, I really never thought about pursuing.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
it wasn't until the school was open and I went to that business conference and I got on social media. That's when
Mhm.
I got back into,
Mhm.
social media and doing, well, that's when I got into it. But other
Mhm.
than that, never, so yeah.
Mhm. Well, we talked about last week doing stuff scared. I played basketball most of my younger days, and I would be out there. I'd be nervous. I'd be scared, but I didn't. I had a heck of a layup, a heck of a jump shot, and I wasn't gonna come off that court looking like a fool. But nobody knew I was scared. So you still have to go out there and perform and make things happen. The other point I want to make, you walk into a room and there's all these people in there, and you're speaking to everybody and talking to everybody. But then if somebody asks you to do something, you get scared. These people already know you. You already talking to them. Why not go ahead and do whatever you're asked to do? Get on the stage, say whatever. But I don't understand that part either.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
different for everybody, and
Yeah.
sometimes, and we always say do it scared, and a lot of people hear that, but they're scared to do it scared. But you only keeping yourself stuck at for the moment. But as you continue to stay stuck, you're holding somebody else up from their dream because
Right.
you are necessary, whether you want to believe that or not. You could lie to yourself and say, I'm not good enough, this, that, whatever. But if
Hmm.
you've been doing something over and over and you feel it and you know it, and you just sit on that gift, that's
Right.
not that's not helping you nor the people that you're supposed to be helping. God assigns us people. He also assigns us destiny helpers to help you to go to where you are. When you take the first step, God getting ready to be there for you. and hold your hand to get to the next step and the next step. But if you don't ever take it, how are you supposed to get to it?
Right.
This is really helping y'all and it's
Right.
resonating with you because our age of 40 plus and 50 plus and 60 plus, there's so many people that are so gifted. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that want to be creators. Do you know how many 40, 50, 60, 70, and even 80-year-old people are creators? I just saw two 80-year-old like sisters on social media yesterday. I wish we could bring stuff up and show it. They were so beautiful and it was so inspiring to see these ladies. If they could show up and it was their 80th birthday, what's wrong here? What's wrong?
Yeah.
We can make excuses. We can always make one,
Right.
and we can always look at what we can't do. I did a live the other day. Okay, life is life. We get it. Something always gonna happen. That's life is
Right.
doing what it's supposed to do.
It
But
does.
what about you doing what you're supposed to do? There's
Mm-hmm.
people out here with no legs, no arms. Maybe they're making thousands. They're making millions. People that
They
can't,
are.
they
Yeah.
blind. But every
Yeah.
day we got an excuse about why we can't do something. Let's think
Right.
about all the things we can do and focus on that and start getting it done, even though we may be scared.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, me
I
too.
agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
agree. I have
So
so much going on right now. I can't, I'm loony. So,
you
but
know what?
I love it. I
Sometimes
love it.
it's the season of what has to happen. And
Right.
and, and you're in your process where everything is bad. And that's what happens when you about to blow up things, be like, and you be like, oh my God, I don't know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. Just
Mm-hmm.
do it. God will give
Mm-hmm.
you the strength to move forward, to do what you got to do, how you got to do it, when you got to do it. Don't
Exactly.
don't run from it. Just do it. He'll
Mhm.
send you who you need. When that school blew up in 14 months and was $1 million school, and everybody was coming in, I was like, oh my God, me and my sister was looking like really crazy. We didn't know what to do. We didn't have an accountant, so that was terrible because we really need to pay people back and that because we was like, oh, we need to save money. We don't do it ourselves. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not I'm not a do-it-yourselfer anymore. That was a big old mistake. So sometimes we got to be prepared what we're asking for because we don't never know when God gonna just open up the floodgates of heaven and set it down, and it's like, woo, it's gonna
True.
rain. Okay,
Right.
True. True.
and so we got to be ready. So as we talk about that, we just talked about the naming the fears. We just talked about the visibility and being a little nervous to step out there, the truth about visibility. Now we need to talk about the boldness. The boldness. Boldness is a muscle. Okay. Every time you show up
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, you do it one time. Oh, I'm so scared. Like Tammy just said with the layup, doing her basketball things and the different things that we've done. She might have been scared maybe the first two times or whatever. You go on after these years have come, the nervousness. You might be nervous every time, but you already know at this point, I got it. So you going out there doing it scared or no matter what. But
Right.
every time you show up, you are being strengthened. One small step gives you the next step and the next step. And as you take the step, many times you don't have to be alone. It's that we choose to be alone. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to call people because you call one wrong person or that one person had did this, what had happened. We want to
Yes.
keep talking about what they didn't do. But
Right.
you gonna keep on and lose your dream because some person didn't do that. I used to have women telling me, "Well, I've been waiting for 3 months and she ain't never called me. Is she the only one?" Like,
Three months.
I've
After a
been
week, I'm
waiting
on it.
about my website. I paid her $500 and it's been 6 months. Well, you know what? 6 months you could have found another $500 to pay somebody else to keep moving, but no, you're gonna sit still, stuck and stagnant. Let's not when we focus on our dream and moving forward to do what we need to do at 40 plus, we can't sit and keep talking about what had happened. We can't keep sitting in this money because while you sit in that space and place, you're stuck. Find a way to connect yourself with other people to do things so that you can move forward.
True.
Latoya can tell you how this really got started, because I had my own next level conversations. T with Latoya, she doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. And what happened? Life, because life gonna keep doing what it does.
Right.
And then so because life was doing us in, we just kind of stopped. Then we kind of talked about it. Then we kind of got on and we started doing tea conversations and tea with Latoya and Renee. So we called ourselves. And we done taped, and then we didn't never do an episode, did we? Never. But we did some tapings. We
did some tapings. We did some marketing stuff, and yeah.
Oh, we sure did. Wait, and we did a whole webinar, and we did all of that, and never did nothing.
Yeah, because but I believe timing is everything. And although we did all those things, I don't think they were in vain. No, but it just wasn't the right time for that project.
It wasn't. Life was lifing, and so we was like, okay. So when Tammy called and talked about, hey, Renette, I want to do the podcast, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then we got others. We want to do the podcast, and it was like, let's put this thing together, because life on life on all of us. And so when life has life, then it has life for each and every one of us. But guess what? Because we have connected and collaborated, we have not missed a show up. So maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to connect.
Right. Agreed.
Maybe you need to reach out to somebody else. It's always something for you. And maybe you don't see that right now, but ask God to give you the direction. Ask him to guide you where you need to go. And it can definitely happen. So we got to get in the space and place of stop thinking that we got to do it all ourselves. And I know it's hard to deal with people. Sometimes it's hard to trust, but trust God. And then trust yourself. Yeah. That God will give you the right direction, the right decision, and trust yourself to follow that. And then you can make it. So yes, boldness is a muscle that we have to use. Use your story, whatever story that God has shown you where he's performed a miracle or gave you something. It's the same God that it's always been. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So we all soon forget. First of all, when something happens, whoo, girl, God is good. You know how we getting on? We just bragging and praising. Oh, Lord, he good.
Right.
Then something happened. Every time I turn around, maybe I need to quit. And so we got all this negativity going on.
Right.
Please remember, if God did it before, he can certainly do it again. He is the same God. So use that muscle of your story of what God has told you. Network with intention. Connect with intention instead of shrinking, because that's what we do. Soon as something happens, what do? We fall off.
Right.
We fall off.
Yeah. But you have to change your mindset and decide that even though one day was better than the other, still keep that positive mindset. This week I've been asking a lot of questions and praying about a lot of things. And God's been working. Yesterday he woke me up 3:40. This morning he woke me up at 3:55, and he answered my questions. I received my answers. And it's so important to be able to hear. And he comes to you when you're quiet and you're still. And everything that I'd asked, everything that I was concerned about or wanted to know about, it's been answered. Okay. So he doesn't just come to you in the daytime when you're busy. Sometimes he comes to you when you're asleep, and he wakes you up. I was wide awake, listening to what I needed to hear. So, but in the flip side of that is you hear what you get the answers. You have to take those answers and you have to make and utilize those answers and make things happen. You can't just hear it and then go on doing the same thing you were doing before.
You said a real mouthful that people need to make sure they heard, and I want to reiterate this. She said, "Get still." Whether you still in the daytime or whatever, because it's sometimes God is showing you, but because you won't be still, you won't sit down and take the time, you miss out on what God is saying. So whether it's the daytime, the nighttime, the by time, the high, whatever time, we gotta take time and get still. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when we're really, really busy and we're not taking that time, we miss what God is showing us. We can
Mm-hmm.
miss many blessings. You don't have to be to every event. You don't have to be to everything. We go to stuff and sometimes we wore down, tore down, beat down, and just we just don't have the capacity to do stuff.
Right.
And so we keep going and going and going, and we're not stopping when sometimes the answer is just no. I wonder how many of you all, as we're talking about the visibility, sometimes we're too tired to show up. You can't be visible because you're tired.
Right.
And so if you just decide, okay, you know what, on this day, I'm going to have one day a week for me. I used to do that when my kids were younger. I just had so much going on. I had 3 jobs. I was and I had all my kids. They were playing football or whatever they was doing. So I was just done, and I had to have Saturday to myself. And many days, and I took them to church. When I after church, my husband understood they were getting dropped back off, and they on you. And I took that time for me because I needed that time. And I think as we get to this age, we have so much going on. That's why I'm glad you mentioned that about being still,
Mm-hmm.
because we have the grown children over here, and even though they're grown, they still need mommy. Then sometimes we have the grandkids. Then you may have the spouse, the job. You have so many things happening and so many irons in the fire that you're really not realizing that you could be missing your whole blessing because you won't prioritize you. And that causes you not to be as vigilant or visible as you should be. So you need to set you some boundaries and kind of put things in pockets and compartmentalize. Well, I almost couldn't say it, but compartmentalize. And I think that will make such a difference when we learn to do that. And it's been a space where I've been when my kids were younger, and it was a lot. Then when they grew up, it was a lot. I got a lot of grandkids. That's a lot, and everybody calling me. But
Yeah.
you know what? It's just
Yeah.
like when I was coming here to get on this podcast, I knew I had to get on this podcast. I had 8 phone calls. When I decided to myself, I can't. I just need to drive. I need to focus. When it's podcast night, I'm trying to focus. I don't want to be doing all those things. I
Right.
just want to focus. And sometimes we have to get in that space and place. So I'm glad you said that about being still. And
Yeah.
so,
One more thing I want to add though is, and I just decided today, Sundays, I'm not working anymore.
oh, I made that decision last week.
Sunday, I will be still. If I'm not chill, that's just chill time. That day is for me to sit still and not do anything, I'm sticking to it.
That's a great decision.
Yeah, yeah. So with
Should
all
have
the
made
projects I have going on, we're doing this podcast. I have 7 other projects I'm working on, books I'm writing, working full time, all this stuff. It doesn't matter. Sunday, I'm sitting still.
Tammy, I'm glad you mentioned that not only to us, but also to the Spicy Squad. So that way we can keep you accountable to keep
Yes,
your Sunday sacred.
yes, yes,
And if you
yes.
work on Sundays, find you a sacred day. But some people work on Sundays and they have to, maybe not
Right,
by choice, but whatever your day is, find a day
right,
that's sacred.
Yeah.
right, right.
And if
Yeah.
somebody say, "Well, girl, you got," no, it's already booked. You don't have to explain yourself. It's
Hmm.
already booked.
Yeah. Well, let me correct myself. I said today I made that decision. I'm sorry. I made that decision Saturday because yesterday is exactly what I did. I stayed home. I was in that bed just chilling. That's it. So it's important.
And even if you want to go out and hang out with just you don't have to hang with people. Hang out just with yourself. Take yourself to a movie, to dinner, to whatever it is you want to do. Or if you decide, okay, well, I want to hang or I want to do something with whoever, but it's a choice that you're doing where you're able to relax and regain your mind
Regain.
and what it
Yeah,
is you need to do.
that's
Because so
true.
many times we let people keep us stuck and in a chokehold because we're trying to run and do everything they want us to do. Somebody did this and somebody died and somebody this. And I talked about this, I think, before. A lot of times we don't even know your friend invited you to the grandchild party. Oh, I gotta get to the grandchild. You don't even know the grandchild. What you going? Send them a gift. Give them $10. Okay, give them a $10 toy. There ain't no more Toys R Us, but Walmart card. Here it is, baby. You know what? Happy birthday, but I'm not
Happy
able
birthday.
to your
Yeah.
friend and keep it moving. Send it virtually or whatever. They got that. That's why they got this stuff now. We can send stuff virtually. You ain't got to attend every party. If you don't feel good and you wore out and tore down, I cannot go. If you've RSVP, now when I RSVP to something, I say I'm coming, I'm gonna show up. But before I do that RSVP these days, I gotta think long and hard. Can I really do it? If I can, I don't. I used to RSVP for myself and my husband, and my husband is quick to say, "I'm not doing that." Well, what you doing? Staying home. And so he started talking to me like, Renette, what are you doing is the question. You talk about what am I doing? What are you doing? Because you think you got to go everywhere and do everything. Sit down sometime. And so that's what we're telling y'all, Spicy Squad. Sat down.
Sat down.
As you do that, y'all probably said, well, they talking about being visible, but now they telling us to sit down. We're telling you.
Yeah, that's how you stay focused. That's how you stay in order. That's how you stay grounded. You can't just keep going. You keep going and going and going. You're gonna miss something important. And there are ingredients you have to put into this thing. One ingredient can throw the whole thing off.
Absolutely.
One missing ingredient can that you miss that taste. You want that miss one ingredient, you won't have it.
Yep, you got to put your foot in it. Okay, 10 toes down. Make it happen. So this has been really, really, really good. So I love this boldness. So we talked about online. Well, we haven't really talked about it, but all of us post. And so we're not saying you post it every day, but you can if that's what you choose. And now they have scheduled posts. And so this is one thing I want to say about the visibility. Because you're visible, a lot of people are going to be reaching out to you. And they want to think because you're on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, now they're going to text you early 5 a.m. in the morning. I saw you was up. That don't mean it's that time.
Right.
We talking about being still. Don't allow people to move past your boundaries and be texting you at that time of morning. Because you see my post on Facebook. That don't mean I'm on now. Because I know we schedule posts. You schedule posts, Latoya. Most of my posts are scheduled.
Yeah.
And we can schedule lives too.
Yes.
It looks like you don't know. So don't call. I don't know how many. I got some last. I know you seen me calling.
And did.
You know what? We could be on the toilet. We could be in a meeting. We could be whatever. So
not the toilet, Renette.
But I'm serious. Somebody could be on the toilet. You could be taking a shower. You could be in a meeting. You could still be texting and doing stuff, but that don't mean you can talk to people.
Right.
And people need to understand that. And
right.
Then when you have these early morning or late night texts, because I might be up sometimes, because I do sometimes stay up late. That don't mean I want to talk to you in Messenger though.
Ooh.
Visibility does not mean that you have to be letting people take over and step over those boundaries.
You know what I thought about when you said visibility? Visibility does not equal availability. I don't mean I'm available.
Nice.
Say that.
Bring it.
Say that. Woo, say it loud for the people in the back.
On that note,
equal availability.
On that note, yes.
I love it. Cause she'll already tell you, baby, 9 o'clock. And I think I made a decision because my cutoff time is 10 o'clock on my phone, but I think I'm about to put it to 9 o'clock, even maybe 8:30. Just because I have just things that I'm trying to do. And so if you want to change something up and you need to, or if you don't have time set on your phone, set it.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you make more time to be visible. So
Right.
as we talk about posting and you've been thinking about it, you can schedule posts. You can use do posts, decide how. Maybe you don't do them every day. Maybe you do them a certain day. Maybe you decide to start yourself a show like we do. And then we come on every Thursday. And we online almost every day, but if we don't want to be, we don't have to be. Wait. I look like I'm online every
There
day.
you go.
Look like, so I'm still visible. So you don't have to actually be doing that on the day that people see it. Some days you may, but some days you won't. You can schedule lives. You can schedule them. You can schedule whatever you want to schedule. TikTok, LinkedIn, all of them have availability for you to schedule. So it's just learning how to do it.
Yeah. One thing I want to add that a lot of people, especially 40 plus, they have a fear of going live. You don't necessarily have to go live. If you feel more comfortable recording a video on your phone and posting it later, do that because you're still being visible. And sometimes we get in the mindset that, oh, everything has to be perfect, perfect, perfect. And if you get on this live and you stumble over a word or something, and then you may not even, post the video, you may delete it. If you feel more comfortable just recording a video on your phone and posting it later, whatever additional copy or context that you want to add to it, do that. Schedule it. You can record several videos, in one sitting and schedule them out, different days, same days, however you want to do it. But you're still showing up, you're still being visible, and you're doing it on your terms.
And you can also ask somebody to go on live with you to help you overcome that fear. A lot of times you might be scared by yourself, but then when you get on with somebody, you're like, oh my God, it wasn't what I thought it was. And I know in the visibility group, when I used to do that coaching, people did have a big fear of getting on, and that's how we started with recording. And what happens is when you start recording and people start liking your stuff, then you get a little bold. Oh, I'm gonna go live now. Oh, they like my stuff. So now you get bold. So it's the fact of stepping out and trying it that makes the difference. I know you know Erica, don't you, Latoya, Erica Neal?
Yes.
When I tell you I fought with her forever to
To go
do it.
live.
And when she finally did it, oh my God, her business. She had too much business. She had to go hire her team.
Yeah, she had to hire a team. I remember that.
And that's why it's important to just try. You don't have to be live first off.
Right.
She stayed recording for a little while.
Yeah.
But when she finally went live, and now she shows up and she shows out. And that's what happens. So we're not telling anybody like you got to do it. And a lot of people beware as you start to get coaches, you got to do it this way, that way. It's always a way that people may have, but you can tweak and do stuff. You got to do what makes you feel. Now, I'm not going to say you got to feel comfortable all the time because you got to do stuff that's uncomfortable. But to just get yourself started, just get started. That's what we're saying. It may be comfortable or uncomfortable, but get started. And offline, be bold about walking into rooms. Speak your truth in conversations. You have wisdom. Network with intention. Don't shrink back when you walk in the room. Go sit at the table with people you don't know. Go by yourself. A lot of people scared to go. Go by yourself. Hey, girl, how you doing? And start doing that. So bold on and offline. We can do this. And guess why? Because we have a big advantage. Guess what it is? Y'all know what the big advantage is?
What is that?
Our big age. We have wisdom. We have knowledge. We have experience. And sometimes through that experience and raising kids and being on jobs, we've had to have resilience, right? So yeah, we got a big advantage. We got more than a lot of the people that's trying to do it that's way younger. We got that experience. We could talk about what we did, how we did it, when we did it, what worked, what didn't work, the failures, the successes. Use those things to build yourself up. We're not novices in a lot of stuff anymore. Even though you might not have been visible or on live, like out in front of people, you can be there because you have the experience. Oh, I don't know what to do. When Tammy stepped out and I ain't never did this before, but she had so much stuff inside that she could do. And so, even though she has not been doing this for a year, what does it look like? She's been on here about 15, 20, 11 years because she decided that, you know what, I'm just going to step up and do it. And when she first started, and she was like, I'm scared. And she sat on that stool at the Weekend of Greatness, and we couldn't get her quiet, could we? She just showed up. And that's what we have to do. We just have to choose to show up. When we show up, we go up. That's just the bottom line. If you want to go to new levels and show up, it makes so much of a difference. So let's start showing up. Let's be big and bold online. I think that we need to do some type of little challenge, which is going to be, maybe it's not the easiest and it's not the hardest, but why don't we do one thing that scares us this week? One single thing that you wanted to do that scares you in reference to what we're talking about, the visibility. If you never posted and you just always in somebody's inbox and you commenting, but you hadn't posted, post a picture of yourself. Go live. Pitch yourself. Talk about what you do. Put on your outfit and be cute. Swing your hair, your braids. Just show up. That's boldness. That's coming online. We've earned the right. We spicy. And we have the big advantage, y'all.
Okay.
Now a little seasoned.
That's right.
We just seasoned.
Real seasoned.
It's an age and a number. We old.
No.
And so the other half of that is write out three reasons why you qualified to show up online and offline. Why you are qualified to show up. How about
all right.
So y'all got the homework, Spicy Squad. Y'all got it. We want to hear about it. Put it in our comments. Send it to the emails. We want to hear from y'all. We hope y'all are sharing. We hope y'all have invited people because y'all, this is real. You know what? I don't know how long. Oh, we've been on. Okay, we have a good time, and I'm looking. We ain't did that. Yeah. So, anything else y'all want to say? I think this was great. I think it's great help to get people out there. 40 plus people need us. They need us. We the ones with the wisdom. They need us.
Well, if you see somebody doing something, believe me, you can do it too. So,
and probably can do it better. And that's what happened, Tammy. People see somebody, I could have did that. Yeah, could have, should have.
Yeah, but you're sitting on it and you're not doing anything. But it's a hope. For some people, it's a hope and a prayer with no movement.
Right.
This is a future multimillionaire in the making. So, I said it. I'm gonna do it.
And I love that. Speak it out. Speak what you seek. Call it out. Put it out in the atmosphere. And that's exactly what it'll be. When you speak it, when you seek it, you got to keep speaking it no matter what it looks like. And it just calls y'all out because you didn't show up. So we can't even talk about who you could have done better than. You could have. But coulda ain't never did nothing. Woulda ain't never did nothing. Shoulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Can y'all tell me something they've done? I can.
Nothing.
Oh, correct.
What you say? What you call it? What you used to always say?
Stuck and
stagnant. Yeah.
That's what we not trying to do that. We seasoned. We ain't got to stay still, stuck and stagnant. And we ain't got to stay silent, baby. We gonna use our voice. We've been shut up for long enough. It's time to show up and not shut up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We thank y'all so much. Don't forget y'all got homework. Your homework. We'll see y'all later. Make it spicy.
Good night.
Good night.
Hi, y'all. Thank y'all for joining.